shout out to my classmates, the great class of 1967. Many of us on campus this weekend had the privilege of knowing and working with Harold Brumbaugh. Placing his name on this award has been a fitting and lasting tribute to HB and his lifelong service to Juniata College. The best thing about having been a Juniata College professor is the opportunity to work with young minds. Some were more challenging, some were interesting, and a much smaller number were truly memorable. The citation I'm going to read in a few minutes will recount why my former student and my friend, Karen Beck, is one of those truly memorable ones, and why she so very, very deservedly has been selected for the Alumni Service Award. When Christy Givney first approached me about reading the citation, my response was something along the lines of, I would have been bitterly disappointed, had I not been at least considered. What I'm going to tell you in very personal terms is why this woman is so special. Fall of 1992, Karen had just returned from study abroad in Germany. So I asked her to talk to my students in an introduction to business classes to promote international education. What a saleswoman. What a wonderful role model for first-year students. Spring of 1993, by some scheduling quirk, there were only 6 students enrolled in my marketing communications class, and half of them were internationals. 6 was an unbelievably low number, and for a course that had been typically taught with case studies and projects, it was a wonderful opportunity. It suddenly became a seminar. I wonder if Karen can name the other 5 people in the seminar. Not that this is a quiz. Chicos? Who's? Guido?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Study for this part.
David Wardell? All right, I know that's right. Good, very good. Got 2. Very good.
Oh, Terry, right.
Yes. Okay. Part 2 of the quiz is whether Karen remembers what her seminar topic was. She remembered the limited corporation, which is what she studied in the retailing class. That's not the seminar class.
So much for this one.
It was called The Effectiveness of Advertising. And I have proof because I still have a copy of it. I do. We all know Karen is an energetic and gregarious person. I cite her seminar work because it's a different dimension of her. It was so good, so very good, that it became required reading for several subsequent iterations of that course. That's how good it was. And I have copies of that too. Browsing through her paper recently, several passages jumped out. Paraphrased. Jingles and slogans are important to a product's identity. Companies are ever reviving old ones. For example, Rice-A-Roni. That's what it says here, San Francisco treat. A tune so drummed to an American's first television generation that most baby boomers can still hear it. The next passage was almost a prophecy. It is also important to realize slogans can misfire and get to be meaningless. Of course, not everyone's sold on slogans. The Leo Burnett Agency has produced some of advertising's best recalled slogans, such as fly the friendly skies of United. During seminar discussions and conversations, Karen, always helpful, would frequently break into German to help explain a difficult concept to the international students. Except for alumni employed currently at Juniata College and my son Eric, class of 92, and his daughter-in-law Tammy, class of 93, I have had more contact with Karen than any other Juniata alum. Among my Facebook photos, there's one very special one taken 5 years ago in front of Cloister, showing Karen and me with our very good friend Kristen Holloway Carriera, class of 97, on the occasion of Kristen's having received the Alumni Humanitarian Award, for which I read the citation. The hidden significance of the photo is that all three of us roomed in Cloister 202. Not simultaneously, but years apart, and in my case, decades apart. Karen was very instrumental in Kristen not only choosing Juniata, but also in studying abroad in Germany. Karen and Kristen are close friends to this day, and enjoy reminiscing about the time Karen hosted Kristen in her dorm room during an enrollment open house. Karen recently attended a concert by the touring Juniata Concert Choir, sending her the program and choir CD to remind Kristen of her own cherished years singing with that choir. That's Karen, forever helpful, forever caring, forever thinking about others. When it comes to reading award citations, I've been twice blessed. Kristen generously contributed to these comments. In my files, I found a 1993 reference letter for Karen. There was a graphic continuous rating scale across 13 attributes. All were rated, the range went from below average to excellent, measuring 13 attributes. All were marked excellent, but there were three that were way out there, virtually off the scale. And I have a copy of it. Motivation, responsibility, and quality of work. At the risk of quoting myself, that letter said, Karen is the kind of student who makes teaching a rewarding experience. I think she will use her positive traits in any endeavor she undertakes. To close, and since the president can't take back this award, I can now reveal that a recent contact prior to this weekend happened in early April. Karen phoned, and after some pleasantries asked if I would be around for a reunion weekend. I reminded her that it was my 50th. She asked if my Karen, Professor Karen Roselle, and I were going to be attending the award ceremony. Uh-oh. Recipients are not supposed to know ahead of time too much about the ceremony, and they are not told in advance who's going to read their citation. My silence prompted her to say, rather sternly, "You do know I'm getting an award." See my dilemma? Well, I said, Karen, somebody's got to read your citation. And here it is. What I'm about to read is a beautifully crafted citation. I did not write it, and the importance of that comment will be self-evident in just a moment. Whereas Karen V. Beck, a member of the class of 1993, has provided selfless and unwavering service and support to her alma mater with contagious energy and loyalty, and whereas she began her service to Juniata as an undergraduate by volunteering as an overnight host for prospective students, and by serving as a member of the Juniata College Admission Association, a student organization that supported enrollment. And whereas she has cultivated the network of Juniata in the Philadelphia region by attending and organizing events for alumni, parents, and friends of the college, and by serving on the Delaware Valley Juniata Club leadership team. And whereas she has served as her class reunion committee member for many years, and whereas she has mentored students and young alumni by attending and hosting networking events, serving as a member of the Juniata career team, and serving as a resource for students in Professor Donaldson's Intro to Business classes. And whereas she served as a member of the Alumni Council from 1998 to 2001, and whereas she has given generously of herself in investing in Juniata, working with fellow alumni and friends to honor Professor Emeritus Klaus Jaeger and Evelyn Pembroke, former alumni relations specialist, through endowed scholarships. And whereas in 1993, she began cultivating her student recruitment legacy as a volunteer with the Juniata Admission Ambassadors, known then as Juniata Admissions Volunteers, attending countless college fairs, making high school visits on behalf of the college, and reaching out to prospective students, which has helped her recruit more than 27 students to Juniata over the years. And whereas Karen has served as volunteer chair of JAA since 2008, training and coordinating volunteers working to generate alumni support at prospective student events, promoting the program for Alumni Weekend and Homecoming, managing content and creating orientation videos for the JAA website, and regularly committing nearly 200 hours to this work annually. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Juniata Alumni Association acknowledges and appreciates all that she has done and continues to do for Juniata. It's an honor and a privilege to present Karen V. Beck with the prestigious Harold B. Brumbaugh Alumni Service Award by direction of the Alumni Council.
Good morning. Well, I think now afternoon. President Jennifer, trustees, alumni, special guests, and my sister. Thank you for sharing this day with me and my fellow award recipients. Juniata friends, I'm honored and deeply grateful to be recognized with this award. Thank you very much. I'll go a little bit off script here. One thing that I was thinking to myself when I was told that I was receiving this award, how am I going to compare with the other people that will be up here with me? They've done amazing things, saved lives, influenced research. But then I thought, well, they all got their start at Juniata, so that's where I come in. A number of fellow volunteers have influenced me over the years. Many of those who inspired me are past recipients of this award, and I'm honored to be included among them. I am proud to be a Juniata volunteer. It's not something I do when I have the time, but it's something that I make the time to do. There's a passion that drives me. For those of you who don't know me, I love Juniata. We are featured in the book Colleges That Change Lives because of the special community found here. I wholeheartedly believe in that and know for certain that Juniata is still changing me to this day. There's something intangible here, but we all know what it is. The feeling, the energy, the memories. We feel it when we are back on campus. That's why we're all here this weekend, to share and celebrate this place that means so much. Volunteering as an ambassador gives me opportunities to sustain this energy when I'm back at home. Interacting with other alumni, current students, and prospective students and their families gives me the chance to share my stories and strengthen the Juniata connection. But it's more than that. Juniata is a safe place. A place where you can try something new, make a difference, and be a part of something greater than yourself. Whenever I'm here on campus, I feel focused and driven and inspired by the collaboration of everyone on the team. Receiving that kind of validation and support from the community drives me to continue my involvement and seek out more ways to contribute. Receiving this award has prompted me to look back on the events and people who have influenced me. First, all of you who have participated over the years. As JAA Chair, one of the most important things I can do is thank volunteers for their service. So thank you to everyone in this room for helping to spread the word about Juniata. Thank you for sharing stories about your college days with your friends, family, and neighbors. Thank you for wearing a Juniata t-shirt. Thank you for attending a college fair in your town. Thank you for using the community scholarship to identify students who would be a perfect fit. Thank you for putting a Juniata sticker on your car. And if you aren't currently involved in these activities but would like to be, see me afterwards. And now some of my own personal thank you messages. Thank you to my parents who encouraged me to find the place that would be my perfect fit and who tolerate my excitement whenever I have another Juniata story to tell. Thanks to my sister for being here this weekend and for appreciating my dedication to Juniata. I'm sorry you don't have the same connection to your school. But please know you're always welcome here. Thank you to these three people who have proven that personal connections make a difference. A quick story for each one. As a freshman, I thought it would be a good idea for us to write notes to incoming students to welcome them to the marching band. I wrote to Mike Lehman, and little did I know we would become pen pals for that whole summer and very good friends to this day. Jamie is a student from Philadelphia who I met at her off-campus interview that we hosted at my office in Ardmore. We kept in touch all during her college search, and I was the first person she called when she picked Juniata. She did wonderfully here and just graduated 2 weeks ago. And the third one, I had the privilege to deliver an acceptance packet to Bianca a few months ago. I met her family for lunch and we chatted for hours. They were all so excited. She will be here as a freshman in the fall. Thank you to Dan O'Sullivan for welcoming me as co-chair of JAA when I wanted to be more involved. His own contributions to Juniata are too many to mention, but it never fails that he will still have new ideas about JAA whenever we discuss some aspect of the program. Thank you for supporting me and trusting me to carry on. Terry Bowman was my admission counselor. She visited my high school, and we sat in a cramped little resource room off the guidance office, and she told me stories of a place where I could learn more about myself and have many opportunities beyond what I had available to me so far. I told her about things that interested me, and she responded with, "You can do that at Juniata." She took the time to listen to me, learn about me, and get to know me. Then, as a student, I was her student assistant in the admission office and helped to counsel prospective students in her region. This might sound a bit familiar. One of the most memorable was Kristen Holloway. We weren't even students at the same time, but developed a close friendship, kept in touch during her years as a student, and a few years ago, made plans for alumni weekend so that we'd be here on campus together. She studied marketing and German as I did and was also an advisee of Professor Donaldson. And then I go into the funny story about the three of us having spent a year living in the same room. Great minds think alike, I guess. The connections here run so deep. Tara Banerjee is a former admission counselor and was my liaison for JAA. We got to know each other years ago when she was recruiting in New Jersey. We had some very busy off-campus interview weekends, as well as some very fun dinners together. Her guidance and insight really helped me to better understand how alumni can support admission. Thanks so much for being here today. Michelle Bartle also works in admission. I think we first met on the bus when I came to the overnight visit known as Journey to Juniata. She still has as much enthusiasm now as she did then. She was part of the team in the office when I worked for Terry, and being around them on a daily basis really shaped my work ethic. They treated us as coworkers, not just students, and gave me my first experience as part of a collaborative work environment. These days, anytime we talk, I'm energized and entertained, and even during those late night phone calls when you're driving back from a college fair. I'm really glad that we've had so many opportunities to work together and become such good friends over the years. Evelyn Pembroke, as many of you know, is one of the most warm and welcoming people. Whenever I'd return to campus, I'd stop into her office first. Regardless of what she was doing, she would take a quick break for a hug and a hello. It's exactly what I needed after that long drive. And to you, Professor Donaldson, my advisor, mentor, friend, and personal cheerleader. Thank you for your encouragement, support, and guidance. As students, you forced us to think and apply our knowledge outside of the classroom. I'm still grateful to you for that to this day. Thank you for your advice on job searching and soul searching. Whether it's a quick email or a more lengthy conversation, I always learn from you. Most students have an advisor for 4 years, but 20-some years later, your office door is still open to me, even when there is no longer an office. How lucky am I? So thank you all for being part of my special connection to Juniata and for the opportunity to share my stories with you today.